Welcome to Appliance Master. I'm Bill, and this is Kari.
Hi, and today we're going to be going over a customer's basic washroom setup with their washer and dryer, and hopefully we can give you guys some tips on maintenance and possible updates for your own laundry rooms.
Okay, let's get started. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with the washing machine over here. Okay, first thing I noticed right off the bat is these black fill hoses. This is a problem. These should be removed immediately. They're known to burst at any moment, and they can cause a flood. And if the water is turned on, they'll just keep flooding your house, until someone shuts the water off. So what's fortunate here is this customer has a quick shut-off valve. Right now, that's in the off position, which is a good thing. So right here, pulling it forward turns the water on. So if you have these in your home, you should get used to turning them off when you're going to go away for extended periods. And if you like to have one of these installed, plumbers can install those relatively easily. But also, I happen to notice while we're here, this drain hose is plastic. It's a hard plastic, and it's starting to it has white stress cracks here in the seams. I would keep an eye on that, because if that gets worse, this hose can also burst, which will pump, tens of gallons of water everywhere, and that's something you want to try to avoid. Although not immediately, I'd keep your eye on that.
Now, you said that the rubber hoses are not ideal. What would you recommend replacing them with?
Well, I brought a prop here. Our Technician's truck stock stainless steel mesh fill hoses, which are ideal. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Even these should be replaced every 5 years or so. But this is much more reliable than the rubber ones.
Mm-hmm. And now, if someone's going out of town, would you recommend they turn the water off to the washing machine?
Even if you're not going to do laundry for a couple of days, it's always a great habit. I'm sure a lot of people don't do that, but it's a good habit especially if you have some OCD like some of us. Shut the water off. One less thing to worry about.
Okay. And then So I see that they have the dryer right next to the washing machine. That's pretty common, I would think, right?
Yeah. One thing you notice quickly when you go to people's houses, a lot of people use fabric softener sheets. Now these, they all leave like a residue. They have fragrance and they have other chemicals, but they make your clothes feel softer and smell better. But they also leave a residue on the lint filter. So I happen to take the lint filter out here. This is a really fine mesh, this one. So the residue will clog this pretty easily. You should clean these. I would say every several weeks, every few months, but there's an easy test. What I like to do is run a stream of water. The water should pass like right through the filter without any, see, if you notice here, it's pooling on top. See how it's pooling on top? Okay, so, and you can feel it's a little bit sticky. So what I'm gonna do is, hope the customer's not watching, I'm gonna use her soap. And
so you're just using basic laundry detergent on a soft sponge.
Yeah, you can anything that. Oops. Pretty standard. It cleans really easily, and this being restricted can increase dryer run times. I mean, these can get so bad that it's almost like you have a solid block in your dryer, and it can really cause the dryer to be much less efficient. So I don't know if I've been doing this for a minute yet, but it looks better already too. You can see through it. So we'll back this off and look for a steady stream. See how I did. Let's see how I did. Yeah, it needs a little more scrubbing, but that's pretty much going straight through.
Yep.
You see it's not pulling? It's going straight through. Take my word for it. Let's go. All right. So something as easy as that can save you a lot of energy.
I can imagine that being a starting point for some other issues that we commonly see with
I'm using someone's t-shirt to dry. Hope that's okay.
Now just taking a look at the dryer itself, I see that there is some lint buildup on the top.
Excellent. That's a good observation.
Near the track.
Yep. that's a good sign, because when the dryer venting is restricted, it can't blow out as much as it would like. You can imagine yourself, trying to blow into a restricted. It's gonna leak out other places, and it leaks out through vents, and that's already been through the clothes. So this is lint. If you can see, I don't want to write my name in it, but it's like, this is lint that's building up on top of the dryer. That should have been vented outside. And why don't we take? I'm pretty sure if we look behind the dryer too, we'll probably see some of that lint on top of the machine and even on the walls. And let's see what the back looks like. Typical is in the majority of households we go to, we always find laundry behind. That's a fire hazard. You really should clean it up. This unit has a foil vent, which should be changed immediately, because as we discussed in last week's video, the foil is burns easily. If you get a fire in the dryer, that vent will burn, which then becomes sort of like a fuse, and it'll carry the fire into the walls of the house. So that should be addressed immediately. Luckily for us, we have, I think, Appliance Master is at the door, and we have our. It looks like Donnie's here.
Yep.
Hello, Donnie.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, Donnie.
How are you? All right. So I did actually get a pressure reading on this on the venting system, and it was higher than standard. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and see what could be the issue.
Cool. And go ahead. I don't want to disturb you. I'll just keep talking while you're doing that. Like we did a video last week where we were at a townhouse complex where the venting was cleaned by a professional company, and if they had taken airflow readings or pressure readings like they should have, which I find almost nobody does, they just stick a brush in and vacuum a little bit and they say it's clean. But when the job is done and cleaned, you should take either a pressure reading, airflow readings, or both to determine that it's done properly, that it's not only clean, but the venting is installed properly.
Yeah, those pictures that you had brought last week, it showed that the ductwork looked all like it was almost completely clogged with a solid
That's right.
blockage of lint.
And inside the dryer as well, that one caught on fire. So there was a fire inside the clothes dryer, which was fortunate it stayed there. So, okay.
So make sure that doesn't fall. Okay, so I can see right from here we do have quite a bit of lint buildup inside here. I'm going to take this drum out, I think.
See, look, if you have your dryer cleaned, you might find enough change under it just to pay for it. So that itself.
Penny slots. I got a lot of loose change in here. I'll just put these in here for now.
I'll count it if you like. Looks like we're over $2 already. Just start.
I'm going to unplug this before
Oh,
I stick my arms in there.
Yeah, sure. I guess it always seems like it takes longer when you're being watched, right, Donnie?
So if you were to go to somebody's house and do an internal cleaning of their dryer to get out that excess lint that builds up, this is standard. You take it apart, you get everything out around the drum behind it.
Okay. So it's not as bad as what I've seen. I would definitely recommend a cleaning, being that if you look closely at that motor there, you see all that lint build up on your motor. Your motor will get hot enough to ignite that lint. Heating system in this dryer, as you can see, it's non-existent in the drum. It's actually an electric heater that's behind that panel. So
I think another thing too, I'm gonna get a light, see if I can brighten this up a little bit, because I think an important thing is right here. See, right here is where the hot air is introduced to the drum, and there's actually scorching on here. Because of the lint buildup, this gets so hot, you can burn clothes, and so addressing the airflow and the ductwork is something you really should do frequently. I don't know, do we have any questions out there?
Oh, here's one. Why is lint getting inside the dryer even though I regularly clean the lint filter?
well, that's a good question. Lint doesn't start out like this. Lint is actually small particles that get through the lint screen. Every time you pull your lint screen out, you're not pulling all the lint out. It could fall through the system. So it's good to have it, looked at regularly. I mean, you look at this wheel right here. This is a great example. I truck stock these as well. This should be rolling. This should be spinning like a skate. So the lint has gotten to the point where it's seizing up your rollers.
And that actually, the high operating temperatures, because of the improper venting, causes those rollers and to fail prematurely. And it can also affect the belt. Let me get a closer look at the belt too, because sometimes, again, higher operating temperatures because of poor venting. Is that starting to crack? Yeah, you can see there's like small cracks, on the bias here. But again, like Donnie's here cleaning the vent, we can put a total rebuilding kit in this, like belt, rollers, that idler pulley. These are the things that break, and it's not that much money. It's really good to address while you're having a part.
And would those be, a standard truck stock part for our technicians that we could take care of, hopefully in the first visit?
Yes, I truck stock all these as long as there are other technicians. I think you'll be able to pay for this service fee today with what I found in the dryer.
I know we're inexpensive, but I don't think we're that expensive. We're not under $5.
Yeah, my concern at this point would be the rollers and the lint on the motor. And at this point, I can see that the restriction is not here inside the dryer. I believe it'll be the dryer vent that we discussed last week's Facebook Live.
So even though we can't do this live right now, I think what the plan is that we'll pull it out more, clean internally, and then you'll address that kink, that foil vent in the back, replace that with a proper vent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I noticed that the termination for this dryer system, it's inaccessible. It's underneath a deck out back, which has stairs on 3 sides, so you can't get under it. So the only way to clean this dryer would be from inside. So we're going to make sure we do that right. We'll take pictures, maybe take some video, have it for you at a future date. Maybe we'll put on our website a follow-up to the visit today.
Yeah, and I'm sure, everyone can find that by going to our website. There's links to our Facebook, as well as,
APPLIANCEMASTER.com?
APPLIANCEMASTER.com.
All right. Everybody. Actually, everything went fairly smoothly. I was expecting a little bit more chaos. So.
Yeah, I've got a little work ahead of me. But if you want me to come out and take a look at your dryer, don't forget, you can call us today. 1-800-752-7123. And
just a regular inspection, a dryer vent analysis, I think is $39.
$39.95,
yeah. So very easy to do. Be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. Right?
Absolutely.
Definitely worthwhile maintenance.
Thanks for tuning in today.
Yeah, we'll see you next week again, Tuesday at 12 o'clock.